Welcome back, everybody. Rock Talk, episode 12. Back to the season previews. Your host, Cole Weber, with you. We have women's basketball, and I'm excited to talk about it with head coach Mike Winters. First off, Mike, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's great to be here. Excited about the season, loving our kids, and just kind of learning the lay of the land right now. Got to feeling our way through it. So.
Absolutely. I mean, you haven't been here very long. I mean, What was it? Just about over a month ago?
About a month, yeah. About a month. So I think we know everybody's last name now.
Yeah, there you go.
Kind of at that point.
You put names to faces.
Right.
Yes. So how's the first month been here at Rockford?
It's been a little bit rocky. As you know, we're low on numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Just the situation that we inherited, and now we're dealing with some injuries. So it's touch and go right now. We have 9 committed to playing, and we have 3 out with injuries right now.
Right.
We have one that's a cross-country runner, so we won't really see her full-time for a couple more weeks. And, obviously we want her to get through cross-country healthy and all that first and foremost. So right now practices are challenging. We're at 5-6 healthy bodies right now every day, and that'll get better. But right now we just got to feel our way through it. And the hard part is you've got so much you need to learn with what in a normal situation. Time I've recruited these players, I know exactly what they can and can't do, and what we need to do as a team as a result of that. And we're still in that feeling out phase where I'm still trying to figure out what our girls can do, and
who you
what
got,
what they can't do, what offensive system fits them the best, and all those things. So when you can't scrimmage every day, that's difficult.
Really tough.
It's tough to find that stuff out. So we're doing a lot of breakdown stuff, a lot of 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3 stuff, and just trying to, we call them small-sided games, just isolate a section of the floor and a section of the offense and get reps on that stuff and just kind of learn from that right now.
Situational stuff.
Right.
Yes,
absolutely.
definitely. Yeah, you can't worry about who's not there. You can only worry about who you got in front of you out on the floor.
Right.
So talk a little bit about just the girls that you got out there. Anything that you've seen, anybody you're really excited about going into the season?
I'm really excited about Nia Wilkerson and Kyla Wilkerson both. Kyla, unfortunately, is down with a broken foot.
Really
and,
tough.
Probably out until at least the beginning of December would be my guess. It is just kind of a guess at this point. But her and Nia are cousins. They both the game comes really easy to them. They have a high IQ. They understand the game. They're very skilled. So it starts with those two. Katie Paredes is outstanding. Katie's just a very versatile post player. Like, she can step out and do a lot of things. She can pass the ball. She can knock down threes. She can score in the low post. And then T. Simpson's another one, very similar to Katie, actually, that she's a transfer from Texas. So most Rockford fans haven't seen T yet, but she's got some talent. She can score off the dribble a little bit as a post player, so we can kind of stretch the floor with her a little bit as well. So both of our post players are inside-outside players. They're a little undersized. Katie and T are both about 5'10", and I know we're going to see some bigger posts in that.
Right.
So they're going to be we're talking to them about the value of drawing fouls, about, getting bigger post players out of the game in foul trouble and things like that. But those two are very skilled at that. I think they can really do that. So, being a little undersized, I still feel like our posts are maybe our strength overall.
Yeah, and being undersized, being able to play fast, that's probably going to be important for you guys, being able to run the floor, especially with smaller posts.
It is, but you need numbers for that as well.
Absolutely,
so it's like
you'd
like to have the depth of 10, 11 girls, and we just aren't going to have that this year. A couple of girls, like we've already mentioned, Haley West being a cross-country runner, and Sophia Halsey's coming out from softball, and she hasn't played in several years, and she's a phenomenal athlete. Like, I keep telling her every day, like, you're going to get this really quick because she's so athletic and she's a smart kid. And she works hard, so I'm excited. I'm really glad she's out there. It's going to make a big difference for us. And we have a freshman, Amelia Brodesky, who's about 5'11", and really raw as a freshman. But she unfortunately got in a car accident a few weeks ago and has been out with a concussion. So we haven't had a chance to get her on the floor yet. So that's and then another. Speaking of our post players, Teresa McCarver is a senior, and just one of those kids that just does everything right. Like, she's super passionate about what she's doing. She loves her teammates, super coachable, and just plays really hard. So we have some depth there in the post that is exciting. We just got to get them and keep them all healthy.
Right. The injury bug already has just hit you guys super hard, more than I've ever really seen with a team like of your guys' size. And I really feel for Kyla, just because she works in the sports information offense with us. She works at games. She's a great kid.
Oh, she's outstanding. She's a great kid. And then Reem Aldi also is dealing with an ankle injury right now. Like, that's happened. She rolled it on Saturday. Last night she felt like she was good to go, and then she came in. She rolled the same ankle again.
I know what that's like.
We all. Anybody that's played basketball knows that feeling, and it's tough. And she's probably our best shooter. So. She's somebody that can space the floor for us and be a difference maker when we see those double teams on Katie and T. And Nia and Kyla, she's going to be the beneficiary of a lot of that stuff. So another person we just need to get healthy.
Yeah, just get some ankle braces out there and
we talked about that last night. We talked about you need to get taped when you're feeling a little weak, or if you have an ankle issue, just get taped every day and have that ankle brace in your bag as a backup. So we had that discussion. Unfortunately, a little bit too late.
Right. I mean, we'll get it fixed. I'm rooting for you guys. Let's go back to, you're talking about T. She's a transfer from Eastern Nazarene, and you've also got another, I don't know how to say it, somebody else from Eastern Nazarene, your assistant coach, Amanda Brooks. Let's talk a little bit about Amanda, who's had to shoulder a really big load just over the last few months, just kind of being alone as a graduate assistant. Just talk a little bit about her.
You're absolutely right. I mean, she pretty much held down the fort, until I got in here, and she's still carrying me. I can tell you that much because coming in, it's as anybody who's ever had a new job, it's like there's a whole new language to learn. Like people are just throwing things at you, and like, well, what's that? And you've just got to take the time to go through all that stuff. And so she's kind of been our rock as far as scheduling. Communication with the girls. She had that relationship established with them before I did. Yeah. And, I've had to lean on her really hard. And awesome for her to step up and be in that situation where she thinks she's a grad assistant. That usually you assume that's going to be a kind of a smaller role and more about the school than anything else. And, she's had to do both, and she's handled it really, really well. So I'm excited for her. I think our program is better because of her. And, I owe her a great deal already.
Oh, definitely. Amanda's great. I've had the opportunity to hang out with her a few times. She's a great hangout as well. So, Amanda, if you listen to this, shout out to you for everything you did. Let's talk a little bit about your coaching journey. I mean, spent most of your time in high school basketball. Yeah. Tell me just a little bit about the difference between coaching high school and now going into college.
Yeah, so I've spent 20 years as a varsity head coach and always coach boys as well. So the connection.
A big shift.
Yeah, big shift, jumping to the college level and jumping over to the women's side. I have been coaching a pretty high-level travel softball team the last 5 years, and they were just 17U last summer when we broke up the gang, and we told them it was the last go-around just because I was getting too busy with other things, and then this popped up. So that has been a nice bridge to this. And in the last few years, I've really enjoyed coaching the women's side. I'm getting no secret. I'm getting older, and it
happens to everybody.
I feel like it takes less energy. I feel like the girls are more dialed in. They're better listeners, less emotional when it comes to the IQ side of things.
Yeah.
So I don't think you need to yell and scream to get their attention. I felt like on the boys' side, sometimes you need to really
get them to lock
kind of
in.
that whole alpha male thing, and you need to kind of be on top of them at some times. And took a lot of energy, and it's something I absolutely loved my entire career. But it was kind of the right change at the right time, I think, for me. So I'm really enjoying it. I think our relationships with the girls are good. It's just it feels easier from a relationship standpoint. And there's also, you remove the dynamic. I mean, let's not underestimate the fact that, when you're coaching a team of 12 to 15 plus, there's a lot of competition and all that stuff. And we don't have that right now.
Yes.
So we've got a roster of 9, and all 9 know that they have to play for us to be successful.
Really cohesive unit.
So that certainly makes the transition period a little bit easier, where the girls know they're going to get their opportunities. And it's just a matter of not allowing them to settle, not letting that be the goal. Have something bigger in mind, and not being satisfied with just getting on the floor.
Yeah, that's fantastic insight, just from especially you, a guy who've been doing it for 25 plus years. Tell me a little bit. I mean, you stopped coaching basketball there for a couple of years. What made you get back into the basketball side of things?
It's funny. Coach Regal is a former player of mine, so
okay.
I didn't know if you knew that or not.
No.
But he played for me one of my first coaching. Actually, my first 2 years as a head coach, way back in a long time ago.
Anyways, we don't need to get into details.
Anyways, yeah. So he called me. He said, "Would you be interested?" And I kind of laughed and said, "No." And he kind of told me the situation. I didn't really know the whole situation. I'm not sure I still know the whole situation. But he said, "Would you mind talking to Jess?" And I said, "Sure, I'll talk to her." And really connected with her, and she started telling me more of the story. And the old coach in me just started feeling kind of sympathetic. Felt a little empathy for what was going on, and he started thinking about the seniors and what they've been through with 4 coaches in 4 years. Yep. And I told Jess, I said, I'm probably not your long-term answer. I said, but I can give you the season and do the best we can with it. And if nothing else, I think my approach this year has been different than it's ever been before. I've probably been smiling and laughing and cracking jokes
more than
ever. And just because, listen, this is the hand we've been dealt. We all know it. Like, let's make sure we're having a good time no matter what it is. If we're winning by 20, losing by 20, anywhere in between, like, let's make sure we're working hard, number one, but number two, we're having fun doing it. And for some of our girls, it's going to be the last time they put on a uniform. So let's try to make it the best experience we can.
Absolutely. Get as much out of it as you can. So bridging off of that, what is your guys' goal for this year, this 2025-26 season?
You know what? We haven't even done that yet.
Okay.
We haven't even gotten to that point yet, and it's on the to-do list. And I probably have the least experience with setting goals at this level, in this league, because I probably know less about our league right now than any of our players do, with the exceptions of a couple new players, and Coach Brooks probably knows more. And right now we're just trying to find out a lot about ourselves, and we'll have that meeting. And we still have a few weeks before the first game. So sometime before the first game on November 12th, we'll sit down as a group. We'll meet with our kids individually again and just kind of say, all right, individually, where are you at? What do you want to accomplish? And then try and draw some ideas out of them about what they think this team can accomplish in comparison to last year, especially the returners, would have a pretty good knowledge of that. And then we'll try to piece that together as far as what the goals are. And, I think the more important for us is probably the game-to-game goals. What's our in-game goals? How many of those are we hitting? And I think if we do those things, then the progress is going to be there towards the end of the year. What's the win-loss situation going to be like? It's tough to say. It's really tough to say, and for a lot of reasons.
Yes.
And, we have to make sure we're measuring ourselves based on the right measurements and, the right statistics, the effort. And, and like I said from the beginning, I love our kids. Like, they're super coachable. They're embracing this. They could easily be really down about the situation. And they're not. They're coachable. You can see the look on their face every day somebody goes down injured again.
Yeah,
like, here we are again. But it's like just try to pick them up, and they've been fantastic at picking each other up. And that's just going to be the way it is this year. And hopefully we put our goal by the end of the season in March is to make this a lot more attractive of a place to be. A destination, and just try to put next season in a much better starting point than where we're at right now.
Yeah, that's a fantastic goal. Be better. I mean, it's the same thing everybody talks about. Be better tomorrow than we were today.
Sure,
right?
Absolutely.
And you kind of brought it up, but have you done any preliminary scouting on your first game, which is coming up on November 12th? We got about 3 weeks away, going to Iowa against Cornell College. Has there been any looking at Cornell at all?
Haven't yet, no. And we'll look at that film in the next couple of weeks. We're still, again, it would have been a lot different if we had our system established and all that stuff.
You had a little more time before.
Yeah, and that's that's the luxury for me right now, honestly, is when in high school we have 2 weeks of practice, and our first game is literally 2 weeks from the day, and it's you have spreadsheets all over the place where you're checking things off, like what we've done, what we haven't done. This honestly feels a lot more relaxed right now because we have so much more time. So that's been going from high school to college, just the lack of time in high school before the first game. This has been actually a luxury, and kind of like, oh, this is easy. Like, we got plenty of time on this. So we will hit those scouting reports and all that stuff within the coming weeks here.
Yeah. I mean, you can't let it get into the way of what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
You got 3 weeks. You got time.
Yeah.
You got time to prepare for Cornell. You're a teacher, so you teach at Harlem High School. Tell me just a little bit about how teaching has helped you be a better coach.
I think if you're a coach and you're not a teacher, whether you're a classroom teacher or not, you're probably not doing some things right. So much of what we do is teaching and honestly learning too. I think as a coach has got to be probably as good of a learner as anybody on the team.
Yeah.
And you're I always talk about the fact that if we as coaches are complaining about us not being very good at something, the answer is probably in those practice plans. Just like the answer as a teacher's in the lesson plans. Like, if kids are missing questions on a test repeatedly, it's probably something that I'm not doing right. So, I always tell the kids, like, when we're evaluating post-game stuff, like we're evaluating, we're talking to you, but don't think that we don't go as coaches and evaluate ourselves in that same light afterwards. We just don't do it in front of you.
Yes.
But, we're looking at, okay, why are we so bad at this? Why are we struggling at this right now? And the answer is usually in the practice plans. Have we put in the time? Have we got the reps in? So you have to be very observant. You have to be willing to learn, and you have to learn from your players too. I think your players can teach you so much about what they can and can't do, and our job is to put them in a situation that they can have the most success. So for me, that means we'll tweak the offensive system, the defense system, whatever we need to do. Like, I've never been a system person. Yes, we have a system every single year. But for me, it's always changed from year to year based on our talent.
Based on what you got on the team.
And you know your players teach you what you need to do if you're observant.
How would you characterize your coaching style? Is it similar to how your teaching style is? Just tell me a little bit.
Game day, I'm pretty high energy. I'm probably the biggest cheerleader out there.
Yeah.
I always tell our players, like, I'm yelling, but I'm not necessarily yelling at you.
Right.
It's just energy. I'll give you whatever you need. I tell our players that all the time. I'd love it if you guys controlled the energy and you did this and you did that, but I'll give you whatever we need. I think it's important as a coach to be dynamic in that manner. I think you got to be a little bit unpredictable. I think you spend so much time. The season is so long. And I think it's important to be unpredictable with your players a little bit, when they think you're going to yell and scream, to just kind of sit down and have the heart-to-heart talk with them, or vice versa. Sometimes the best time to raise your voice and get after them is when you're up by 20 points and they're feeling pretty good about themselves if you want to get better that day. So I've always kind of just – it's whatever the situation dictates. Never been afraid to throw a triangle 2 or a diamond 1 or junk defense out there if I felt like it could help us. I feel like that's probably going to be harder to do at this level, but it's not. But the point is that it's whatever we need to do and whatever we think is best. And sometimes you got to take a chance. Sometimes you got to throw together a game plan that's maybe a little out of the ordinary, and but at the same time you can't have the ego to where if it's not working you can't be afraid to scrap it and just go a different route. So. Just try to give the kids what they need when they need it. And, when things are crazy down the stretch and I may have been out of my mind crazy, high energy the whole game. And when it's a 1-point game with 30 seconds to go, I might look like the calmest person in the gym. I assure you inside I'm probably not that way, but it's what your kids need to see in that moment. And we need them to kind of calm the nerves a little bit and be like, all right, we've been through this before, we can do this. And, so it really, I think being dynamic as a coach is super important in today's world. And you think about how these kids live their lives, and everything changes for them so fast, and they almost need you to coach in the same way, where you can make things move quickly and change quickly and seem different. And the challenge in that is the fundamentals of the game are the same as they were 20 years ago. You emphasize a little bit more of the 3-point line and some other things, but
it's just spaced out just a little bit.
Yeah, and so can you constantly present things to kids at our practice where it looks different, but it's really the same? And I think that's one of the challenges with coaching today.
I'm a big fan of everything you just said. Specifically, I mean, just catering what you do around the personnel that you have. And I think I could pick your brain about that for a long time. You got practice coming up. I don't want to keep you for too much longer, but I mean, you were talking to Coach Kevin Niles a little before this about your daughter, country singer. Just tell this blossoming fan base a little bit about what you got going on with your daughter.
Well, we have 2 amazing kids. My family, my wife Nicole and my son Brandon, and then my wife McKenna, or my daughter McKenna. And McKenna is a country singer songwriter. She's writing some of her own music, but she's 17. She's a senior at Harlem High School. We're trying to keep things normal. Yeah. Still going to school, still playing high school softball, still playing travel softball, but she has 14 songs out on all streaming platforms. Her 15th one comes out October 28th, and then we are off to Nashville to record a full album here in about 8 days. So, she's been fortunate to work with some pretty high-level players down there in Nashville in the country music world, and she's got a Grammy Award winner that's been mastering her songs.
Wow.
Writing with some of the songwriters she's writing with have been named in Who's Next in Nashville and some of that stuff. And we just got, I think, really fortunate. When she was 14, we went down to a songwriters symposium workshop type thing and
met the right people.
Really just to network. She hadn't even written a song in her life at that point. And we went down really just to network. And we got lucky and we met her producer down there. And her producer worked at the Ruckus Room in Nashville. The Ruckus Room in Nashville has been famous for – Taylor Swift got her first 2 albums there, and Thomas Rhett and Blake Shelton and all kinds of the big names in country music have recorded there. And it closed about 8 months ago. Jamie Tate, the owner of it, retired, but Jamie Tate is still mastering McKenna's stuff, and just a huge connection there. So, we're hopeful. It's a different world for sure, and we're learning as we go. But it's exciting.
Yeah, definitely different than coaching high school basketball, right?
It is. But, you get that adrenaline rush when it's hard. It's like she goes on stage and I can't do anything.
Right.
So I'm
that's
probably,
all her at that point.
I've coached in a state tournament game against John Shire in the state semifinals.
Wow.
And
Did you win? Did you win that game?
No, they don't want to talk about that. But in front of 12,000 people in the Peoria Civic Center, and don't remember being really nervous in that.
Yeah.
It was kind of like, look where we're at, like let's go.
Just another game.
And now she gets up on stage anywhere she gets up there, and I have no control of it. I can't help her. So it's way more nerve-wracking than anything I've ever done in my coaching career. Not to give her major props because I couldn't do it. God, at 17, I was afraid to talk to any girl in high school or speak up in class or do anything.
Yep.
So I don't know how she does it, but it's been a really cool thing for our family, and we're excited for her.
Yeah, that's really cool, really different, and really exciting. And McKenna Faith Winners, right?
Correct. Yep.
So go listen to her on all streaming platforms. That's really cool. Well, Mike, it's been great to talk to you. I'm going to let you get off to practice here. Is there anything else that you want to say here on Rock Talk?
No, I hope our community will embrace this team. I think they've faced some challenges that are not due to anything they've brought on. They're here. They want to represent the university in a really positive way.
Yeah.
And we're going to show up. We're going to play hard, and we're going to get better. I hope that you'll come out and see us at the beginning of the year, in the middle of the year, and the end of the year, and be able to recognize the hard work they're putting in.
Yes, absolutely.
So.
Thank you for coming on again, Coach Mike Winners, head coach of the women's basketball team here at Rockford. Their first game is on November 12th, first home game. Come out and watch that on November 22nd against Illinois College. That was Rock Talk, episode 12. Your host, Cole Weber, saying goodbye. Thanks, everybody, for listening.